I don't think Jadon Sancho really happens. Why? Salary. I was talking with Coach K, who has been somebody I've referenced before on this channel, massive Manchester United fan, somebody I really look up to, kind of like an advisor to me of a sort with football, has been for more than half my life at this point. And I just think that he's holding out for more money. His contract's going to expire next summer. United have an option to push it that far. 20 million euros to come over from Manchester and like a modest salary relative to what he's made. I don't see it. And if it happens, guys, honestly, I'd be very surprised. Bailey, on the other hand, I could see him come in for depth. Aston Villa looking to make or settle financial fair play. But I want to immediately jump to this tweet that was posted just an hour ago from Filippo Biafora. And he's probably the most trusted and respected Roma journalist. I think he writes for Il Tempo, yeah. So says Sancho's at one step towards becoming a new player of Roma, a little more than 20 million euros, just missing the last yes for the white smoke, and would also arrive Bailey in loan with option of the riscatto, meaning option to buy. And at the end of that, you're going to see something which says Inter to Kone. This is quite concerning for me. Kone, just, are we talking 23rd? Less than nine days now until the season starts, and Roma is considering selling. Well, they haven't said yes or no. It just says that Inter has made contact. Their best midfielder, most impactful midfielder to arch rivals Inter Milan. This is crazy to me. The figure being floated around is 45 plus bonuses. But what's the real issue here is, yeah, it's Kone himself possibly being sold, but it's also, how do you replace him that quickly? Is it Fratesi? Is it some other guy that they mentioned I've never heard of? That's a big question mark. The first player I mentioned there, Fratesi, I think he would work really well for Gasperini. And I think for those reasons why he would work is why Gasperini perhaps doesn't see that Kone would work. Sometimes you could say that Kone is not the best passer or he's not the best shooter, honestly. I would buy that argument. Do I think that he could keep up the way that like Ederson did under Gasperini? Probably, yeah, but I think as you focus on like those passing and that shooting, those aren't his best categories. And I honestly say that Kone has a poor shot compared to the rest of his game. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's the fact that Roma brought him in for, what was it, like 25 million euros last summer, somewhere around that. And if they can get 45, that's 20 plus Valenza that they could use while being restricted by financial fair play. Then they can flip that and go for a more modest purchase in midfield to cover that gap, plus Bailey, plus Sancho. That could be how they're doing this with the financials, I guess. Or I guess I'm more than I guess. I think that's probably realistic. That's probably what they're feeling with that. So, guys, let me know what you think. I'm just taken a little back by this. I want to take a closer look into kind of the mediocrity of these two players, though. If we look at Bailey, I'm going to bring his stats up in just 1 second here. Stop screen, share screen. Okay. So he's brought over from Jamaica. He's a Jamaican international. Brought over to the Belgian Pro League for Genk. He scored most goals, 9. But this is a long time ago. We're talking 9 years ago. Yeah, 9 goals. And since then, what he's done domestically, 2017-18 was a big season for him, 12 goals. Then not until 6 years ago does he have his most prolific season. And since then, he's scored 21 goals since over the past 6 years. These aren't good numbers. Aston Villa, he got frozen out. They have a very good team. 2023-24, that was 14 goals. Second best season of his career. That's pretty good in the Premier League. I'm not going to take him away. He was a winger. He's not a striker. So, national team, yeah, he's a mainstay for Jamaica. He's probably their most talented player. That's probably by far as well. But Sancho, this is what gets me, guys. One, yeah, of course, Sancho's a very talented player at Borussia Dortmund. He was the standout guy, right? Manchester United pay big money for him. He comes over. He has a public dispute with Erik ten Hag, falls out with the club, goes to Chelsea, and is activated, except when they have that activation, which was automatic based on, I think, where Chelsea finished in the league, Chelsea actually paid United £5 million to deactivate the clause. I never saw something like that in contracts. So that was very interesting, I thought. But let's look at Sancho statistically. As we look at Dortmund, that was 6 years ago. He has his most prolific season, 20 goals. It's a lot. Once again, though, it's Germany, and he's playing for who was the best team in Germany at that time. Manchester United, 5 goals his first season, on to 7 last 2. He was on loan at Chelsea, and 0 in 2023-24 because he went back on loan to Dortmund. Doesn't do all that good, actually. 21 appearances, 3 goals. And then last year, 41 appearances, 5 goals for Chelsea, who are a mess themselves. So is it a matter of him not finding the right arrangement, whether that's a team which is always in flux or a manager who's not giving him faith or confidence? Could he come over as being requested by Gasperini and be that guy? I would say there's a chance. You don't discount it. Gasperini's a fantastic manager who can put wingers in particular in the right space. Like, that's what he's very good at. Look at the way that De Keletare was, or even Papu Gomez. Could Sancho be that Papu guy? Comes in, makes a major impact. Maybe Serie A is not as strong as the Premier League. I don't think I'm shocking anybody by saying that, but it's definitely stronger all around than Germany. And when he was in Germany, back at his favorite club, 3 goals in the league. It's not great. But like I said, Gasperini might have that magic touch. Which one do I think is most realistic? Probably Bailey. But then again, he plays right wing. Roma have 2 fantastic right wings. They have Sule, who's going to be starting every match while he's fit. They have Dybala. Does this mean that Dybala plays more in the middle as the attacking mid, or is he a false 9? Gasperini knows him from his time at Atalanta, or I'm sorry, at Palermo. Or does this mean that maybe something else is going on behind the scenes? Does Dybala take a big deal? Something going on that we didn't know about. We didn't know about what was happening in Saudi Arabia until like very few days before that he could actually go. So I think that that's a threat as well that you have to keep your eye on. Like, maybe Dybala gets that last big offer and he decides, you know what, maybe it is time, because Sule he's the guy that's going to be starting over me. I don't see my place in this. So there's a lot of things to think about here, I think, as well, as we look forward. I'm trying to share this. I don't know why it's not showing up. Maybe, there we go. There's that old pick of Dybala and Gasperini. That was a great team. I think Cavani was on that team with Franco Vasquez, and the 3 of them were dynamite. Still nothing going on with Dovbyk. It said that he rejected his approach by Leeds, and he wants to go out and prove it to Gasperini that he is worth sticking around. Not thrilled with that call to arms by Dovbyk. That is, he wants to go out and, I guess, show that he can get a good season under his belt with Gasperini, who's going to put him in the right positions and get him to 20 goals a season, and then jump ship next year to Saudi Arabia and make triple what he does, like Retegui did. That's a possibility. Honestly, if I was his agent, I would probably advise Dovbyk to do the very same thing, just based off that. But I think if it's between the 2 of them, I don't think he's the starter. I think it's Ferguson. He presses better. He lays it off better. He's probably a bit smarter, honestly, in front of net. He's got that dog in him, as they like to say. I like to say. I like that phrase. Don't judge me. But yeah, Sancho to me is probably a big threat. High risk, high reward is something you could say about him. Bailey is like whatever, maybe redundant. So these 2 transfers don't make sense to me. If it was me, guys, this is what I would do. All right. I would look at the situation with Kone, and if Gasperini really doesn't like him, then I would sell him for Fratesi. I would sell Kone for 50, bring in Fratesi for 30. I don't know if that would even work. I have to think that it's not far off, or maybe 30 plus a couple million in bonuses, whatever. And Roma gets a player who maybe matches Gasperini's tactics better, but I wouldn't touch that winger situation on the right. Seems ridiculous to me. Instead, I would go with Lauriente, who I think had 18 goals in Serie B next year. He's super fast. He did tear his ACL about 2 years ago, but I think that him getting that confidence in Serie B, again, coming up with Sassuolo, that would be like a smart buy to me. That's a smart risk, or I should say a smart purchase, right? So it's more pragmatic to me overall. All right. That's it for Roma. Look what I got here. I still got this trading card from Rodrigo De Paul at Udinese. That's a kit I would like to get my hands on. You can see I Made my little closet here, my little classic one I got from Classic Football Shirts in Canal Street, Manhattan, during a Serie A viewing party event. But yeah, let me know what you're thinking. If you think this is Masada totally blowing this? Is this a mistake? Talk soon. Ciao.